Cambodian Broadcasting Network.
Five EBI FM 103.1 MHz.
Welcome there to the Khmer program on 5 EBI FM and
Thanks,
also
Dara.
the Cambodian Broadcasting Network. And thank you to you too, Sokchia.
Yeah, thank you. ស្វាគមន៍ដែលបានចូលរួមក្នុងកម្មវិធី CBN also 5BI វិទ្យុរបស់សហគមន៍
Thank you, Dara.
So, Dave, if you could tell our listeners a bit about your background and what is your role with the union at the moment.
ដែលតាអ្នកអាចប្រាប់តាមុខងារទូនាទីរបស់អ្នកស្រីខ្លះនៅក្នុងសហជីពហ្នឹង
Yeah, thank you. I've been working with unions for over 16 years. My role with this union, the National Union of Workers, is the community engagement organiser, which means I help workers in the workplace, but I also build relationships in the community to help those workers outside of the workplace environment also.
Okay. អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគឺធ្វើការសម្រាប់សហជីពហ្នឹងវា16ឆ្នាំវាយូរដែរហើយតំណែងរបស់ខ្ញុំគឺជាអ្នកតំណងសហគមន៍ហើយទូនាទីរបស់ខ្ញុំគឺទី1គឺជួយកម្មករដែលធ្វើការនៅតាមកន្លែងធ្វើការផ្សេងៗក្រៅពីហ្នឹងក៏មានទូនាទីមួយគឺខាងសហគមន៍តំណែងខាងសហគមន៍ដែរ
Okay. So I would like to know a bit of a background of the National Union of Workers, a bit of history, if you don't mind tell our listeners a bit about, is it an Australian, is it a government body or a non-government body?
តើអ្នកអាចប្រាប់ខ្លះៗបានទេពីប្រវត្តិរបស់សហជីពហ្នឹងតើអាហ្នឹងគឺជាអង្គការឬក៏ជាផ្នែកមួយរបស់ស្ថាប័នរដ្ឋ
Yeah, well, the National Union of Workers, it's not a government body. It is a democratic organisation. We're formed by workers. We are recognised under Australian law, under the Fair Work Act. That's the current act, but our union has been around for a little over 100 years as an organisation of workers. So I think it'd be about 101, 102 years old. And has grown over the years to become a national organisation. Not a government organisation, but recognised under Australian law.
Yeah. អញ្ចឹងសហជីពរបស់ខ្ញុំហ្នឹង National Union of Workers ហ្នឹងគឺមិនមែនជាផ្នែកមួយរបស់រដ្ឋាភិបាលទេគឺជាស្ថាប័នមួយដែលស្ថាប័នប្រជាធិបតេយ្យមួយដោយកម្មករគឺជាអ្នកដែលចូលរួមបង្កើតទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយយើងបង្កើតអរិយណែសហជីពហ្នឹងវាជាង100ឆ្នាំហើយវាយូរដែរហើយយើងត្រូវបានការពារដោយច្បាប់អញ្ចឹងច្បាប់អនុញ្ញាតឲ្យយើងធ្វើការទាំងអស់ហ្នឹង
So under the act, it gives you the power to act on the behalf of the workers, I would say.
អញ្ចឹងតាមរយៈច្បាប់ដែលច្បាប់គេហៅភាពស្មើគ្នាដែលច្បាប់របស់រដ្ឋាភិបាលអូស្ត្រាលីហ្នឹងគឺមានន័យថាគេអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យយើងមានអំណាចក្នុងការជួយកម្មករ
Yeah, the laws in Australia they give a union official like myself the right to represent workers that wish to be represented, that belong to our organisation. In effect, the workers themselves are taking action in their situation, but they're doing it with our support. So yeah, I have some rights to say investigate time and wage records to ensure that people are being paid properly or employed in a safe manner, but I only have the right to do that for workers who engage me to do that by belonging to our organisation.
អញ្ចឹងតាមច្បាប់គឺយើងមានសិទ្ធិតំណាងទៅដល់អ្នកដែលធ្វើការទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងជាពិសេសគឺកម្មករដែលធ្វើការទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងយើងតំណាងន័យថាយើងមើលថាតើគាត់កន្លែងតកែហ្នឹងគេគ្រប់គ្រងគាត់គេផ្ដល់ប្រាក់ខែប្រាក់បៀវត្សគាត់បានត្រឹមត្រូវអត់អ ជាពិសេសគឺយើងក៏អាចមើលទៅលើរបាយការណ៍របៀបរបបការងារការឲ្យប្រាក់ខែរវាងក្រុមហ៊ុនទៅដល់កម្មករទាំងហ្នឹងផងដែរ
So under what circumstances when you intervene with some company where is dispute within the company with their workers
អញ្ចឹងជាអាចនិយាយបានថាពីដូចថាជាងការយើងការដែលយើងចូលរួមទៅដោះស្រាយវិញចំនួនរបស់អ្នកដែលធ្វើការជាមួយនឹងតកែអាហ្នឹងតើយើងធ្វើរបៀបម៉េចដែរ
Yeah, so there's kind of two aspects. One is a bit like a reactive or protective. So that's where a worker believes that they're being unfairly treated. Maybe they're unfairly paid. They're in an unsafe workplace. There's discrimination, or they're injured at work. A situation like that, we can work as an advocate for that worker. And then there's a proactive side to what we do, and that is where we get the workers in a workplace collectively together, and as a group, with the assistance of someone like myself, we put pressure and negotiate with the employer for better conditions or safer conditions or better pay, for example. So there's both the reactive or protective side, and then there's also the proactive collective side to what we do.
អញ្ចឹងសំខាន់ការងាររបស់ខាងសហជីពយើងមានពីរទីមួយគឺយើងជួយកម្មករម្នាក់ៗដែលធ្វើការក្នុងកន្លែងដែលធ្វើការហ្នឹងជាងការគាត់មានបញ្ហាការងារដោយមិនមានសមត្ថភាពដោយគេមិនបានបង់កម្រៃគាត់ត្រឹមត្រូវឬក៏រឿងយុត្តិធម៌ផ្សេងទៀតដែលអ្នកដែលធ្វើការគាត់ជួបបញ្ហាក្រៅពីហ្នឹងគឺយើងប្រមូលកម្លាំងរបស់អ្នកដែលធ្វើការទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងឲ្យគុំជាកម្លាំងតែមួយហើយយើងបានកម្លាំងតែមួយហ្នឹងដើម្បីយើងមានលទ្ធភាពទៅចរចាជាមួយនឹងតកែរោងចក្រឲ្យគេគោរពសិទ្ធិគោរពមុខងារទូនាទីរបស់កម្មករ
So what level of assistance does union give to their members when there is a dispute at work, for example pay rates or unfair dismissal? How extensive is the support there for your members?
Yeah, so we get involved.
តើសហជីពហ្នឹងគាត់ជួយដល់អ្នកដែលធ្វើការហ្នឹងកម្រិតណាឧទាហរណ៍ថាដូចជាជាងការគេមិនបានបង់ថ្លៃត្រឹមត្រូវឬក៏មានបញ្ហាផ្សេងតើសហជីពហ្នឹងជួយដល់កម្រិតណា
We get involved first of all at a workplace level. The best support, the most effective support in a workplace is other workers supporting each other in a situation. In a union, workers get together and they elect or appoint one of their workmates to be the union representative at work. That worker becomes one of the most useful people for the rest of the workers. They're more effective at sorting out issues for a worker than if the issue gets bigger and someone like myself has to get involved. So our first level of support is in the workplace, workers helping each other. The next level, there are, someone like myself would meet with the employer and negotiate when there's problems. And of course, then there's a level like a tribunal or a court in Australia law where we have advocates that would represent a worker, like maybe an unfair dismissal tribunal or a wage claim court case matter.
Yeah. អញ្ចឹងការដែលជួយមានកម្រិត 3-4 កម្រិតជាសំខាន់ទីមួយគឺយើងជួយធ្វើឲ្យកម្មករហ្នឹងគាត់ចេះជួយខ្លួនឯងមួយទៀតគឺអ្នកដែលធ្វើការហ្នឹងគាត់រើសតំណាងរបស់គាត់បោះឆ្នោតរើសតំណាងរបស់គាត់អាហ្នឹងជំនាញបន្ទាប់ជំនាញមួយទៀតគឺបើសិននៅក្នុងករណីគាត់មិនអាចដោះស្រាយបានគាត់មករកយើងអញ្ចឹងពួកខាងខ្ញុំគឺជួយគាត់មកតង់ពីលើទៀតតែបើខាងយើងហ្នឹងគឺវាដោះស្រាយពិបាកទៅទៀតអាហ្នឹងរឿងតុលាការយើងមានតុលាការមួយទៀតអញ្ចឹងយើងរួចអាហ្នឹងទៅខាងតុលាការជាអ្នកដោះស្រាយបើសិននៅក្នុងករណីមានបញ្ហាផ្សេងៗដូចជាគេមិនគោរពសិទ្ធិកម្មករជាដើម
Yeah, okay. So what has been the most successful campaign to win the work fair condition for your members, and what is the most difficult case for you to resolve so far?
Okay.
តើ tăng pi sản phẩm nhiều nhiên xã chip bao giờ nâng ta chúng nói ấy đại dương bán phơi chụp chơi hào hay chúng nói ấy đại dương mình toàn bán chụp chơi chụp bánh ha.
Probably it's hard to say the best outcome because for me, even a small workplace where there are 10 workers and those workers aren't being treated fairly, just to see 10 workers stick together and put pressure back on the boss and change the way the boss respects them is a big win for me. Mm-hmm. So I could talk about campaigns with 1,000 workers at a chicken factory where we got a good pay rise. There's stories like that. Some of my favourite stories are 12 workers, in a small workplace that have just stuck up for each other, or a story of where a worker has decided to stand up for their rights against the company, and all of their workmates have actually taken a collection of money to help that worker with the wages they lost when they were standing up against the company. They're some of my favourite wins, if you call it that. Some of the most difficult cases, and this keeps coming up, and as part of why I do what I do, are cases where new Australians and migrant workers and people over here on visas are being exploited or underpaid on a very large scale. They're always the most difficult circumstances because people are more fearful, don't feel as secure in their employment to be able to stand up, perhaps haven't learnt a lot about our system and how fair our system is, so they don't understand what rights they have. And then there's language and cultural barriers, which is why I work with people like Sokchia at our union, because the areas with the greatest need aren't necessarily 30-something-year-old white Australian males who know the system and understand it. Our areas of greatest need are more complicated, and why we need to do the community work to make a difference.
Trong miền Píចំណុចជោគជ័យនឹងឧបសគ្គជោគជ័យសំខាន់សម្រាប់គាត់គឺមិនចាំបាច់មើលអីដល់ថ្នាក់កម្មកររាប់រយនាក់មកធ្វើអីគ្រាន់តែ 4-10 នាក់ហ្នឹងសាមគ្គីគ្នាធ្វើម៉េចដាក់សម្ពាធទៅតកែឲ្យគាត់គ្រប់សិទ្ធិគ្រប់មុខងារទូនាទីរបស់កម្មករហ្នឹងគឺជារឿងជោគជ័យមួយដែរមួយទៀតឧទាហរណ៍ថាកម្មករសុខចិត្តងើបឈរឡើងទីមទីសិទ្ធិសេរីភាពក្នុងនាមគាត់ជាអ្នកដែលធ្វើការស្របច្បាប់អាហ្នឹងក៏រឿងមួយដែរមួយទៀតបញ្ហាដែលលំបាកសម្រាប់ខាងសហជីពរបស់យើងជាទូទៅគឺតកតងជាមួយនឹងពួកអន្តោប្រវេសន៍ដូចជាពួកអន្តោប្រវេសន៍ដែលមកធ្វើការនៅទីនេះដូចជាសិស្សដូចជាអីជាដើមដែលមកធ្វើការនៅទីនេះគឺជួបការលំបាកដោយសារគាត់មិនស្គាល់ពីច្បាប់មិនស្គាល់ពីច្បាប់ទម្លាប់នៅទីនេះគាត់អត់ស្គាល់អញ្ចឹងគាត់ខ្លាចគាត់អីអញ្ចឹងពេលហ្នឹងគាត់អត់ហ៊ានងើបឈរឡើងដើម្បីនឹងទីមទាសិទ្ធិសេរីភាពរបស់គាត់អាហ្នឹងសំខាន់ហើយមួយទៀតគឺតកតងជាមួយនឹង culture និងវប្បធម៌គាត់ដែរអញ្ចឹងបានយើងមានសុខជាគាត់មកជួយការងារហ្នឹងដើម្បីនឹងសម្រួលឲ្យវាប្រសើរឡើង
Now that you mentioned about the intimidation among the overseas workers, I have seen a documentary on Lateline where I think you appeared in there. How is that going? How is that being dealt with so far at the moment? It was an African worker background, African background.
Yeah, I think that story is from 3 or 4 years ago, possibly. Okay. That workplace, we still struggle.
Right.
That campaign resulted in maybe 150 workers getting some money that they were entitled to, that they weren't being paid. We're currently trying to start negotiating for wage rises with that company and bargaining with that company.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's difficult work that sometimes takes years to achieve, and we're still in the fight there.
So ថារឿង invest រឿងដែលស៊ើបអង្កេតតកតងជាមួយនឹង document មុនតកតងជាមួយនឹងពួកដែលពួកអន្តោប្រវេសន៍ដែលមកធ្វើការទីនេះតែរឿងដល់ណាហើយអញ្ចឹងគាត់ថារឿងហ្នឹងគឺវា 4 ឆ្នាំហើយវាមិនមែនជារឿងថ្មីរឿង 4 ឆ្នាំហើយហើយយើងកំពុងតែបន្តទៅទៀតហើយយើងក៏បានទីមទាឲ្យ កម្មករ150នាក់ដើម្បីគាត់អាចបានប្រាក់ដែលគាត់បាត់បង់ត្រឡប់មកវិញហើយយើងនៅតែបន្តទៅទៀតដើម្បីនឹងទីមទាដើម្បីនឹងធ្វើម៉េចឲ្យតកែនឹងគ្រប់សិទ្ធិដល់កម្មករ
Okay, thank you. Would you strongly recommend people who are working in the labor industry to join the union? And also, I'd like to know the annual fee for the union itself and how many members we have today.
Yeah. ចឹងតើចង់លើកទឹកចិត្តឲ្យមនុស្សចូលជាសមាជិករបស់សហជីពហើយតើមានលក្ខខណ្ឌខ្លះហើយរាល់ថ្ងៃនេះមានសមាជិកមានអីប្រមាណបច្ចុប្បន្នហើយតម្លៃចូលនោះមួយឆ្នាំប្រមាណ
Sure. Yeah, of course. I really think it's important that people join the union. You know, it is joining together with your workmates to achieve something better. And typically in Australian culture, when we commit to something, we do it three ways. We either give some money towards something, or we sign something, or we take an action to support something. So with a union, when you believe in something, you believe in getting paid properly or better safety conditions, you know, we basically, you take those three actions to join a union. You pay a small fee, which is about $11.50 per week. I'm not sure what that works out over to a year, but people pay weekly. You sign a membership form, and then you take action, and that action might be to go to a union meeting or to vote for a workplace representative or you know, those kind of things. So they're the three ways people participate in the union. We probably have I can't get the number right exactly. We're close to 3,000 members in South Australia. It varies in different states. We have over 20,000 members, for example, in Melbourne or in Victoria, 15,000 odd in New South Wales and Sydney, 5,000 or 6,000 up in Queensland. So every state we have different numbers, but it's thousands and tens of thousands of members of the National Union of Workers around Australia.
So why the numbers are so low in Adelaide? Is it because of the population of Adelaide? It's only 3,000, did you say?
Yeah, that's okay.
យើងលើកទឹកចិត្តឲ្យមានអ្នកដែលចូលរួមខាងសហជីពហ្នឹងវាមានលក្ខណៈសំខាន់ជាច្រើនជាពិសេសគឺដើម្បីឲ្យគាត់បានប្រាក់បៀវត្សប្រសើរជាងមុនលក្ខខណ្ឌការងារប្រសើរជាងមុនហើយជាទូទៅនៅអូស្ត្រាលីនេះគេមានវប្បធម៌គេគឺដូចថាឲ្យឬក៏សញ្ញេឬក៏ធ្វើសកម្មភាពអីមួយមុននឹងបានអីមួយអញ្ចឹងតាមពិតទៅពេលដែលគេចូលជាសមាជិកសហជីពហ្នឹងគឺគាត់ត្រូវបង់ក្នុងមួយសប្តាហ៍តែខ្ទង់ប្រហែលជា$11.50សេនតែប៉ុណ្្នឹងទេហើយក្រោយពីហ្នឹងហើយក្រោយពីគាត់បង់គាត់សញ្ញេខ្លាចគាត់ចូលជាសមាជិកសហជីពអីចឹងទៅគាត់អាចចូលរួមសកម្មភាពនៅក្នុងកន្លែងធ្វើការរបស់គាត់ហ្នឹងឬក៏អាចមកចូលរួមនៅកន្លែងធ្វើការនៅក្នុង office ក្នុងការិយាល័យរបស់យើងតែម្ដងហើយនៅ South Australia នេះគឺយើងមានសមាជិកខ្ទង់ 3,000 នាក់ហើយនៅ Melbourne មានខ្ទង់ជា 20,000 នាក់ជាងអញ្ចឹងចំនួនពីរដ្ឋមួយទៅរដ្ឋមួយវាខុសគ្នា
Just on the question again, so why the numbers of South Australian members is actually very low? Is it because of the population in South Australia?
មូលហេតុអីដែលចំនួនសមាជិកនៅ South Australia នេះវាតិចឬក៏ដោយសារតែចំនួនអត្រាប្រជាជននៅទីនេះទៀត
It's partly the population. It's also based on which industries occupy which states. So our industry is food industry.
Yes.
Food industry is growing in South Australia, but it didn't used to be a big industry in South Australia. Also, 3 or 4 years ago, we only had 1,800 members in South Australia. So we're in a period of quite significant growth of membership.
គេអញ្ចឹងវាអាចតកតងជាមួយនឹងអត្រាប្រជាជនដែរដោយសារប្រជាជននៅទីនេះវាមានតែខ្ទង់2លាននាក់នៅ South Australia នេះហើយមួយទៀតគឺយើងផ្ចំសំខាន់លើផ្នែកចំណីអាហារអញ្ចឹងនៅទីនេះគឺបើប្រៀបជាមួយនឹងកាលពីប្រហែលឆ្នាំមុនជាមានសមាជិកតែ 1,800 ទេឥឡូវនេះវាឡើងដល់ 3,000 ជាងអញ្ចឹងនេះថាវាជាជោគជ័យមួយធំមែនតើ
So last question. I know there's a big number of Cambodian populations living up north, and majority of them are actually in the chicken poultry industry,
Yeah.
like Ian's or Holco or Allied Poultry.
Yep.
So, what is your message to them? Should they join the union?
ចឹងនៅសាអូស្ត្រាលីនេះមានប្រជាជនច្រើនជាពិសេសខាងណកខាងជើង
Kitchen Khmer.
ប្រជាជនខ្មែរយើងមានច្រើនដែរ ប្រហែលជាខ្ទង់ 3000 នាក់ប្រជាជនខ្មែរនៅសាអូស្ត្រាលីនេះហើយប្រជាជនមួយចំនួនគាត់ជាទូទៅធ្វើការនៅរោងចក្រធ្វើសាច់មាន់ដូចជានៅ Adelaide Poultry នៅ Ham អីចឹងតើយើងគួរតែលើកទឹកចិត្តឲ្យពួកគាត់ចូលសហជីពឬយ៉ាងម៉េចដែរ
Yeah, absolutely. We also find a lot of Cambodian workers in the vegetable industry, potatoes and tomatoes in particular. I think not only join the union but get involved. We're trying to set up our union in a way that gets people involved, that's democratic. If the Cambodian people in those industries don't already belong to the union, and there's some reason for that because we're not communicating well or they're not understanding what we're about. You know, we're working with people like Sokchia. We want to hear from them. We want them to get involved because they're going to make our union stronger, and as a result, they're going to improve their own lives through that process.
Okay. ចឹងបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងហ្នឹងគឺគាត់ក្រៅពីដូចថាធ្វើការខាងឧស្សាហកម្មចំណីអាហារហ្នឹងគាត់ក៏ធ្វើខាងបន្លែអញ្ចឹងដែរហើយពួកគាត់ដូចខាងតឡងបារាំងអីចឹងទៅហ្នឹងហើយហើយដោយសារបើសិនជាក្នុងករណីពួកគាត់មិនទាន់ចូលគឺយើងចង់ឲ្យពួកគាត់ចូលមែនតើអញ្ចឹងយើងចង់ឲ្យពួកគាត់គឺជាផ្នែកមួយតែពេលគាត់ចូលខាងញញៀនគឺយើងអាចជួយធ្វើឲ្យប្រាក់បៀវត្សរបស់គាត់បានប្រសើរជាងមុនលក្ខខណ្ឌការងារបានប្រសើរជាងមុនអញ្ចឹងបើសិនក្នុងករណីដែលថាយើងខ្វះការតំណែងជាមួយពួកគាត់មិនសូវយល់អំពីការងារពួកយើងអញ្ចឹងសុខជាអាចជួយពួកគាត់អាចពន្យល់ពួកគាត់ដើម្បីគាត់កាន់តែយល់ហើយគាត់អាចចូលក្នុងសហជីពរបស់យើងដើម្បីយើងអាចរួមចំណែកធ្វើការអភិវឌ្ឍសហគមន៍ទាំងអស់គ្នា
Okay. Well, thank you indeed for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
To the show.
អរគុណច្រើនអរគុណសុខជាច្រើន
Cambodian Broadcasting Network.
Five EBI FM 103.1